Hello and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who bought a moped after watching the Pope's Exorcist so that now she can ride a moped to all of her exorcisms. It's Zanandi Boetes.
I feel like you're projecting so hard right now. I feel like that is your fantasy. Like that
Yeah,
that is right. Did you dream about that? You dreamt about
just
that after you watched
imagine
Russell
his
Crowe
character and
being
I on mopeds, just
funky.
cruising around Italy, just exercising people, eating pizza, having a good time, and then going to more exorcisms, and then finding one of the fallen angels caverns in the bottom. Listen, the Pope, we have different thoughts about the Pope's Exorcist, and I understand all of them. But Russell Crowe could have phoned that movie in, but he's really cheeky in it. Is I'm watching him like, is that Russell Crowe on a moped? Is that Russell Crowe? Like, he's
Right.
so hamming it up that I like. I want him and Kenneth Branagh, Perot to do a movie together where they have to solve a faux exorcism or
Ah!
something, right? Like that would be
Okay, yes.
incredible. And they're both on one moped riding
One
together.
moped. That's right. We're sharing it. I mean, I love the like cheeky Russell, especially in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
It kind of fizzled out, and I was like, no, I want what go back to that. Go back to cheeky Russell Crowe.
Just
Because that really did it for me. And it made me think of like all the things we can have if we just, if more people like cast like, Russell Crowe in cheeky characters and cheeky films. I want to see more of that.
that
Like
Pope's Exorcist. I sat down just to watch it, and I bought it for $5. I don't know. It was
oh,
on a
you
very
love
cheap
it.
sale, but it kept. I was like, is it going there? Is it? It went there? Is that it? Wait, it's
I think
wait.
I
They're
think
going.
you're the
What?
biggest fan. I
Yeah,
think
but
you're
like
the biggest fan.
it just kept going so big. And I'm like, I don't like this. I don't know if I like this idea about Christianity and the devil and what has been happening. Like, this seems very odd. But that movie could have been so boring. But instead, I kept sitting there going, "What? Really? Whoa!" Like it wasn't. We've all watched movies before, horror movies, where it's just everyone's bland, right? They're all like, "I'm just depressed because I have to be exercised," and then the exorcist guy's like, "Hey, I gotta exercise you."
Oh
Right?
no, not another
Yeah.
exorcism.
Oh, and then it's like,
Oh.
the bed shakes, and then the movie's over. Like this, this movie is not that. So
It kept going.
I'm like,
It
I don't
kept
know if I like
going.
the ideas here, but
For better or worse, it kept going.
yeah, they had some weird ideas. There's some weird, like theological ideas in that movie, and I'm just like, is that Franco Nero? Is the Pope? Like, it's just yeah. So hey, I think this is either our third or fourth horror awards. We've been doing this for a while, Zanandi.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're like growing
2020,
old
we did
on the horror
2020,
podcast.
right? And then 2021, 2022. This is our fourth.
Yeah. I think it's our fourth. I think
Nice.
so.
It's
I
good.
know.
And
Such it.
it's been a weird year for horror. I mean, I think it's
It's
been a
been interesting.
there's
Mm.
no for me, there's no movies like Black Coat's Daughter, right? That just seared into my memory. There's no Green Room that seared into my memory. There's no Underwater that you and I have been talking about ad nauseum for years. Like I don't think there's any of
Exactly.
those movies.
There's
But
no like nope where you're like, this movie has been cheated out of the award season and whatnot. There's none of that.
whoa, or Us or Hereditary,
You
there's really
know,
none of
like I
that.
mean, I think even like in the acting department, like we've had, don't get me wrong, we've had great acting. Caitlin in No One Will Save You was just freaking amazing. But yeah, it's just like it won't go down as one of the strongest horror years in the 20s, I think. But in saying that, I think we both agree that it's been interesting in the sense that there's been some experimenting going on. You've got your Skinamarink fans, you've got your Outwaters fans, you've got your Angry Girl No Monster fans. Like, you've got like there's some interesting stuff happening. We love Brooklyn 45, great film. Like, I love the fact also that we're going to there's some simplistic ideas that's executed really well. Brooklyn 45 happens in one room for like most part of the film. You've got Skinamarink, like same thing. You know, the location is very basic. It's like just this house and these rooms, and just really a play on lights and sound. Kind of the same thing with Outwaters, really. Caitlin, that's like there's no dialogue in that movie. It's all action. So it's been really interesting to see what people are doing, and I think that's the beauty of it. You know, horror has had some groundbreaking years this past decade, that we're now in a place where people can play around and, okay, let's see what else we can do. There's a platform. So, I mean, it's cool, you know, every year can't be a banner year, but yeah, it's interesting to see what people are doing. Like, I dig that. I respect that. Even if it's not always my cup of tea or what, it doesn't matter. I'm all for play, experiment, see what happens. You never know. Like, somewhere someone can come up with something really authentic and you know, gnarly, that inspires another person to go out and make something really amazing, or you know, whatever. Like, I just dig it. It's been interesting.
Talk to Me, I think, will be quite influential for younger horror filmmakers, I think. So that move
Yes.
really kicked on with audiences.
Yeah,
So
it's wildly popular.
yeah, and like, you know, I was watching some of the early YouTube videos of the directors, and like they've been kicking around for a while. And so for
Yeah.
anybody, or Skinamarink, right? $15,000 budget. The guys who did Talk to Me were YouTubers. So people who watch some of these movies can just be like, oh wow, like YouTubers, kids who shot this for 15,000 kids. I'm old. Adults who shot their movie for
Yeah.
$15,000. It's, I think there's a lot of neat things to pull from these movies. So and but, you know, I like the movies though, and we'll get into it. But I mean, like, also too though, I think it's been a quite a, like, these movies made some money. Meg 2 didn't make as much, but it made 394 million. Five Nights at Freddy's made 294 million worldwide.
Oh,
Nun
right.
2
Yes.
made 268 million. You know, Insidious Red Door made 186 million, which makes it the highest grossing fifth film in a horror
Yeah.
franchise with inflation. You know, toss in Scream 6, which who knows what Scream 7 is going to do, but Evil Dead Rise 146 million. I mean, horror this year, Saw 10 made 108 million. It was a good year, I think. Boogeyman made 82. Like Pope's Exorcist made 73. No, I thought it made like 8. It made
Wow.
73 million. But I think Exorcist Believer made
Well,
100.
it's Russell Crowe and it's religion. Remember, you did that
Yeah,
whole thing. Religious movies, they make the biggest money at the box office because religion.
yeah.
And then add Russell Crowe
And kids.
and add a moped. I
Yeah.
mean, like,
I should do mopeds and
we
horror.
should do,
Swim
yes, we
fan,
should do that. Exactly.
swim fan, Pope Exorcist. All right. After this episode,
Yeah.
I'm going to work on that.
Yeah.
But
There we go.
you know, I think, yeah, no, but there's still a lot to talk about, and there's still a lot of moments we love. So I guess
For
what
sure.
we're going to do is we're going to hand out awards, like random awards,
Awards.
our MFF staple random awards to some movies, and then we'll talk about some of our favorites and get out of here. But well, you know what? I'm going to let you start first. What's your first random award, and for what?
Okay, I'll keep it fun. Let's keep, like, well, most of these are
Spoilers
fun, but
too.
yeah.
Spoilers. Lots of spoilers.
Yeah, listen, you guys. I mean, this is best, like, you know, awards for 2023 horror. So, especially the big ones, we're probably gonna tell you who the killer is. But I mean, if you haven't seen if you haven't seen Scream 6, if you haven't seen Thanksgiving, if you haven't seen the Whodunit movies, which is basically those two, then, like, yeah, we're gonna spoil that for you now. So just know. But I'm sure, I'm sure folks have seen it. Anyway, okay, my first award. Most Lethal Dumpster Award goes to Thanksgiving. Oh my gosh. So I watched Thanksgiving because it dropped on VOD yesterday. So I was able to check it out finally down here in South Africa. It was so much fun. What a fun movie. Like, and I love that. Like, yeah, I finally have a favorite Eli Roth movie. Like, it's not even, you know, no doubt about it. Love it. So much fun. Such cool shout outs to just like all the horror movie stuff without like being so obvious. I feel like we've become very obvious with our Easter eggs and shit, you know, like references. It's just there. It's just part of like just the scenery. So fun dialogue, great kills. Like, I love it had a very Final Destination vibe to it. You know, it was like in and out fast. Like it's a bit of a build-up tension, but in and out fast. I think like compared to Scream, because you would obviously compare the movie to Scream and the Scream films. Like Scream is more, it's very tension and it's very serious and it takes a while before an actual kill happens. Where I like that Thanksgiving was kind of in and out with the kills, like it was just so fun. The pacing was spot on. The story was spot on. It's so I can see a franchise being born. It's great. And I mean, oh my gosh, that dumpster. She didn't stand a chance.
Oh
I
my
also
gosh.
love the little like corn on the cob fork.
Oh gosh, yeah. Oh man.
It's so cute. Oh
And it
God.
never feels too precious, the movie, right? And the kids, I
Not at
actually like
all.
the actors in it, but they don't feel like I
Yes.
like them in it. And I think so I went to an early screening and it was packed. Like it had, I think some of the crew who worked on it, I mean, there was just a lot of people for this movie who were there to watch it. But like, it got some big laughs. And after the opening Black Friday scene, it got applause. At the end, it got applause. There were moments when the characters actually act quite
Nice.
smart. So there's a lady in the theater. She's like, "Don't do that." But
Yes.
what's crazy? She goes, "Don't do that." And then the lady didn't do it and did something really smart. And then the lady yelled back out, like, "My bad." Like it was like, there wasn't like, it was funny. And there's like the best jacket push in this movie when Ryan pushes Bobby's jacket off of what, Jessica. Like there's
Yeah.
genuinely funny moments. Like I knew who the killer was
Very.
almost immediately, but
Yeah,
that didn't stop
absolutely.
me from
No,
enjoying it.
not
It's a
at all.
good time, a very good time.
Yeah, and creative kills. I mean, that's what we always want in our like quirky slashers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Creative kills. And that's why I say it was like, it felt very because a lot of folks are like, yeah, I know what you did last summer with the 1 year later thing. And sure, but it felt more like Final Destination meets Scream for me. And I really dug that. I think, yeah, how clever, but also not like derivative or anything. It's just
Mm-mm.
its own thing.
Yeah.
It's great. It was really, it was the most refreshing new slasher I've seen in a while, honestly.
Eli
Really
Roth
great.
has grown up and matured from his days of
Yes.
Hostel and Cabin Fever. Like he
Yes.
came out of that really mean phase in the early 2000s. And I think now he's
Mm.
gotten older and we're not past anything. We're humans, but we're mostly past that really aggressive, weird era of
Yeah,
very
aggressive,
cruel, exploitative.
salacious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this wasn't it. This was just fun. And everybody in the audience
Yeah.
dug it. Like there were big laughs and applause. And I just sat there laughing. There's a few scenes where I was just
Right.
laughing, like laughing really hard. So yeah, it's I love it. And that dumpster could have had a
That
better kitchen fight.
dumpster.
That's my main problem with the movie. It's called Thanksgiving, and there's not a
Yeah,
great kitchen
right.
fight.
That's true. But I mean, it made up with that with a lot of other, oh my gosh, gnarly bits. I mean, the whole turkey thing.
Oh yeah,
Roasted her like a
yeah.
turkey. Oh
Oh.
my gosh. Like he actually went there. That was amazing.
Now,
That was amazing.
remember in the Grindhouse trailer when the woman does the splits and then the knife stabs her,
Mm.
when she does, like
Yeah.
he avoided that this time. Like he didn't do that in this film. I think that was smart.
The trampoline
Yeah, the
scene. Ah!
trampoline. But remember how he did it in Grindhouse, for the fake trailer?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't do that here, and I'm kind of happy. Like I feel like he's gotten, like what, 17 years later, he's like, I don't need to do that. That was,
There we go.
yeah.
Good and smart choice.
Yeah. But
Smart
I was
choice.
watching, I was like, are they gonna, whoa, I was like, they're on the trampoline. So, but no,
It
okay.
was good. Okay, what's
I'm gonna
your
throw a
first
little
one?
bit of a curveball at you. You're not
Oh
gonna see this one
gosh.
coming, but this one comes from the Wrath of Becky.
Oh wow, yeah. You
Yeah,
didn't even
well,
tell me you liked it.
just because I love Sean William Scott, so it's gonna be
Oh
how,
right.
how many bear traps does it take to kill Sean William Scott? A one, a two, a three, and just I I love that she set up a bear trap for him to step in, and then she set up another
Yeah.
bear trap for him to step in, and then she set up another bear trap according to his height for him to fall in and get his head crushed. That's 3 bear traps with math.
Amazing.
That's like she knew where he would step. Like that's beautiful, beautiful Becky shenanigans. And I guess for me, the Wrath of Becky's the narrative is so simplistic, and I like that. Like I was watching, I'm like, this is a very straightforward movie, and I like
Exactly.
that. But also, I'm just a huge Sean William Scotter, great dude, love him in Goon, huge fan of his, and seeing him in this movie, seeing him mature as an actor, and then seeing 3 perfectly placed bear traps take him out made me very happy. There's not much to the movie other than the narrative. It's just a straight line, the movie, but he walks on three bear
Yeah,
traps.
It's Becky kicking ass. I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm a
And then she has a
huge
rocket launcher.
Becky fan. I'm such a Becky fan. And I mean, if I think about Wrath of Becky, I just see her on that tractor. Like that scene is just hilarious to me. I love that. That's my favorite bit. But I mean, yeah, like I think that it's just this franchise that I mean, it's a comic, man. It's a comic. It's very simplistic. It's like someone does Becky bad and she just kicks ass.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, at the end of the first one, she's kind of like, she's been bathed in blood and she's, watch out world. And then the second one, you've got like, yeah, the guys and their nonsense and whatnot. And I mean, by the end of this, she's being recruited because yeah, she's clever, she can kick ass, like she can go places. So they're recruiting her for some psyop stuff.
Yes,
I
and
mean, it's
rocket
like it's a
launchers.
freaking comic. I love it. I like. Oh no, Becky is fun.
It
Like,
was it
yeah,
was
I'm
so
like, give us 5 more.
it was so refreshing, right? Where it's just it was so normally there's double crosses and twists, and this is like, no, like I'm gonna come and like you did me wrong, I'm gonna kill you. Like there's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
really kind of refreshing that there's
Yeah.
no sidetracks, side plots, romantic interests. It's just this is it, and like the focus I think is admirable, and it's a short movie, and it has her with a rocket launcher, so I'm cool with it.
I mean, if you think about it, it's John Wick, but with a teenage girl.
Yes.
It's, I mean, it's Becky, just like it's John Wick. So it's like, who's going to piss him off? Who are they going to kill? Like, it's very simple. There's nothing more to it. Then it's just, it becomes, how are they going to torture and kill these people? Like, it's John Wick, same thing. It's not a lot of story. You might have lore, but it's really just these people killing people.
And that's great.
Not very much to it.
John Wick's like one of the greatest action franchises ever because it keeps like there's a lot
Absolutely.
of backstory, but it keeps things simple. Like Wick's gonna kill you.
Exactly.
Wick's being hunted. Wick's gonna go
It's
hunt.
about
Like
the
it's
sequences. It's about the fight
yeah. And
sequences.
then
Let's be
it's
honest.
but that's all
You
you need.
expect.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I don't need all everything else. Like just give me that. And so I really love it. But yeah, that's my sneaky award that I had to
I love
hit
it.
you with.
I love
So.
it that you gave Becky something. So that's cool. Okay, let's go on to woo, a gnarly little film. That's one of my favorites of the year, featuring the great Marin Islands that we have
Oh,
from The
she's
Dark and the Wicked. Oh god, both of them were just fantastic. Those two actresses, like if we
incredible.
had to give awards, like serious awards, they would definitely be up there. But yeah, best supposed sex toy in a horror movie goes to Rebirth. Like, I love how she's just so cold and clinical and does the thing. But also, like, from an acting point of view, Marin Island is so good.
So
Every time
good.
I see her, she just impresses me. She's always impressing me. It's just like, yeah, she manages to just keep on doing that. And yeah, like, how you figure out what she's doing with the sperm she's collecting, I love how the movie slowly reveals to you what's going on as well. Like it's kind of like a bit of a mystery. Like what's happening here? And then the horror, because this is dread horror. Like you dread what's coming, you dread what they're gonna do, and oh, they go there. That ending, right?
Yeah.
A bit of a puncher. You feel kind of sick, like
Judy Reyes, she goes for it. Like she's
right?
so good. There's so like I
I
think
love her.
she got
I love
nominated
her.
for Independent Spirit Award for this movie,
Oh,
which
for
makes me
real? Oh, well,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
amazing. I'm so happy
yeah.
about that because she deserves it.
I watch all the movies that get nominated for the Independent Spirit Awards because Megan and I like to do a draft episode.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I watched it and but seeing Marin, who is so incredible in Dark and the Wicked, be a completely different person here. And
Right?
like just cold, but like there's just something really interesting to her. And
Yeah, very.
but and like the way this movie maturely handles the two of them like living together, like they become like co-parents almost.
Exactly.
And then the final gut punch and like the way it builds to it. And yeah, it's just a very mature, well performed. Like some people complain, they're like, there could be more gore and like it doesn't have gore. It's like, why does it need gore. Like
Why?
this isn't the
No,
80s. This
please.
isn't exploitation
No.
cinema. You can have very
Uh-uh.
mature cinema. Like, like Rosemary's Baby doesn't have that much gore. Like it's like
Yeah.
even like the original horror films that people think have gore don't even have that much. It's like, why not have a really mature film that is well written, well performed, and has heart, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, like again, it's dread horror. Like
She goes up.
it's the first half of Barbarian. Like
She goes up to that
dread
guy in the
horror.
bar though. She's like, "Come with me to the
Right.
bathroom."
Oh, yeah, let's
What?
go. And
It's like,
it's
stop
like,
talking.
and I love how they don't show it to you. It's off camera. You just hear him going like, "What's that?" Because you can see she's taking something out of the bag, and she's just like, "Oh no, it's a new sex toy. Just go with it."
Yeah.
And like, but it's so well shot. You're like, "What is happening?" You're hearing this. You're with them in the stall. This is happening. Oh gosh, that scene is. It's just this movie is just great.
Yeah.
Listen, at first when I was watching it, I was like, okay, where's the horror? This is just a sad movie because the woman's kid dies. So I was like, okay, this is sad. This is drama. This is sad. But then when you start to realize what is happening and we're going in Frankenstein territory, oh my gosh, I love it. Also, yeah, a nice year for Frankenstein vibes in
Yeah.
in horror. We've had a couple. That's fun. It's been fun.
Some good. And so speaking of Mar in Ireland, she's in one of our favorite movies, The Dark and the Wicked.
Yeah.
And there's a movie out this year called When Evil Lurks that a lot of people are really into. And you know what? I
Yes.
think it's good, but I think it should be called like a series of unfortunate events, that movie.
Yeah.
I,
For real.
yeah. But for me, like the way that everything, this is unfair, but for me, like the way things were handled in The Dark and the Wicked make me kind of dislike When Evil Lurks. I know they're different movies, but like Dark and the Wicked found this like loneliness and isolation and sadness and grief, whereas the other one's just like, hey, we're gonna put this girl next to a dog, we're gonna put these kids in here. Like I think it's cool and it's world building, but like the shocks never hit me too hard because
Same.
it's just, it was like a game, like setting it up. And so
Yes,
the I
exactly.
haven't thought about it twice since I watched it. I was like, oh, that's gnarly. And then I haven't thought about it. So I don't really have any awards for it, even though it's on the top 5 of almost every list. But I
Yeah,
don't see how,
same.
I don't see how it's, and I know it's not fair to compare it to other movies, but for me, it was more, like I said, a series of unfortunate events that I never felt like connected
Yes.
to. So, yeah, watch Dark and the Wicked instead. It's better. That's my main point
Yeah,
of
no,
saying all that.
I think maybe that is the thing. Like we've seen, stuff like that. Although I mean, the people who like it have seen Dark and the Wicked too. I don't know. I felt like it felt more like going for the shock value more than it actually made sense to me, or felt like the natural progression of this evil coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is interesting. It wasn't a bad movie. I get why people like it, sort of.
Like it was
But
fun to
yeah, like I
watch.
don't want to diss on the movie at all. It was
Mm-mm.
fine. Like, I mean, there's like, yeah, the moments. Listen, it was also extremely predictable at the same. Like I think that maybe also took me out of it a little bit in the sense that with the dog, I was from the beginning, Corinne. I was like, oh my gosh, get
He's
that girl away
smelling.
from the
Yeah.
dog. Like we knew. So when it happened, I was more annoyed than anything else. I wasn't shocked. I was annoyed. So I think that's why it hit different for us. It was kind of I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one. It didn't have that lasting effect on me either,
I
like
think
it did others.
like if it was like the tomato meter, it would be fresh on my end, but I wouldn't heap all the praise in the
Yeah.
world on it. I think.
No.
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 All right. So I'm on my second award, eh? All right. So I'm gonna do best line, my favorite line delivery of any actor this year award.
Okay.
All right, and that's Knock at the Cabin and
Cool.
Batista's line delivery. Like I don't know. I watched that movie and just listening to the way he delivers M. Night Shyamalan's dialogue, like I feel like he was born for it. Like Bruce Willis, Sam Jackson, I think, on Anya Taylor Joy. I think there are some actors who just really understand the cadence of how M. Night writes, like Joaquin Phoenix. I think, uh, and just the way that he is so earnest but so big, and just the way that he delivers his dialogue and that opening handshake between him and the little girl. Like when just his massive meaty paws, like
Yeah,
reaching out to
very
her,
effective.
and I don't know. I just think that I don't know. That movie it's still probably in my top 10 of the year as far as just the effect it had on me. And I love M. Night Shyamalan. Like I think
Yeah,
of all
we're
if
fans.
I had to pick one director and do a series, I would pick M. Night because he's had the most
Yeah,
interesting journey through Hollywood, and his movies hits, misses, comebacks, gigantic films, miss. Like he's very interesting for me. And right now he's sort of in his I made 3 huge movies that I self-funded, so now I can make Knock at the Cabin. Like he's in weird mode again with Magic Beach or Old and this. And
I
so
love it.
when he runs out of money, he'll just go make another gigantic film for 5 million and make 300 million off of it because that's the kind of director he is. But we're in the weird phase, and I love Knock at the Cabin. I really do. And I think Dave Bautista, his performance is slept on. No one's talking about it, but I love his line delivery in that movie.
Yeah, he was good casting. I mean, I liked him too. I was very impressed. And I liked the movie. I also have like an additional award for it,
Ooh, what do you
which
got?
I can probably, yeah, I can probably just like drop it
That's
now
Homemade
because
Weapons.
I've got a couple of additional awards. No, it's my favorite needle drop of the year. Like, I mean, I can't listen to I wanna put on my boogie shoes. I can't listen to that song now without thinking of the movie. Like, I love it when they drop that song at the end when the two are in the car. Like, that's my favorite moment. Like, I enjoyed the movie too. Like, it was it was a surprise watch for me. Like, I didn't think I would enjoy it because a lot of people were like dumping on it. So I was like, okay, I went in all skeptic, and I enjoyed it. Like, it's not a perfect movie, but I'm not expecting a perfect movie from M. Night. I'm expecting an entertaining movie, and it was entertaining, and it had great casting, and it had wonderful moments and setups because I think he's really good with like setups and tension build and like where he takes you with like the cameras and stuff. Like he's good. He's that's why he gets to keep on making movies and we keep watching it because he's good. He's a good filmmaker. And I'm also a M. Night Shyamalan fan, so yeah, we'll always try to like praise him where we can, where it's deserving. And I think there's a lot to love about Knock at the Cabin. Say cabin is a
Cabin
weird
at the Knock.
Cabin at the Knock.
The
But
cabin
yeah,
knocks in the cabin.
my favorite needle drop of the year is
I don't know. It's M. Night. I think some people go into hate watch his movies and they have this weird narrative in their heads about him.
which is weird. Why
Stupid.
would you
Yeah.
do that? Do you have nothing better to do with your
Yeah.
time?
And like, I'm not going to give this movie a chance because it's M. Night. Like, you're going to an M. Night movie. Just, you are. Like, who he is. I will say though, earlier this year, I was at a press screening for Asteroid City, loaded like with movie critics. And some of the movie critics were like, I've only seen like, what's that Wes Anderson? I've only seen Grand Budapest Hotel. And I was like, wait,
Excuse me, what?
but like a group of them were like, yeah, 4 of them in a
And
row
you're
were
a
like,
film critic.
yeah.
You're a film critic, and
And
you've only seen one
they're
Wes
like,
Anderson movie. Oh,
I don't
no,
really
Mark.
like his
Oh,
movies. And I'm like, what? Like, it's fine, but like,
let's leave the world behind.
yeah. I mean, listen, you don't have to be a fan of his, but I mean, I think professional movie critics should know more.
Dude,
Like, it was odd, but yeah, I mean, I just think I knew
that's
what I was
odd.
getting into, and I love all the actors were good. The child actor was wonderful. A lot of M. Night
Yes,
returning actors came back,
lovely,
and he's
lovely.
I don't know. I was watching Bautista, and also I think it's a perfect example of how to make an interesting film in basically a one location place. The way that they shoot that cabin is very innovative.
And also, again, the dread, it worked. I think we kind of like dread horror, Mark.
Yeah,
It's
we're
a thing.
dreaders.
We're dreaders.
Maybe
We
that's why we're
dread
like.
people. We
Do
dread
you like
folks.
Princess Bride? The
So
Dread Pirate Roberts.
I didn't grow up with it. So you can't actually ask. I'm not
Got it.
American, so you can't ask me about it.
There's a guy called the Dread Pirate Roberts. So I was wondering if you loved it because of that.
Oh, right.
Wait, do you love
Of
Judge Dredd
course.
or Dread?
Yes. Yeah, there we go.
There it
Shall we
is.
go with
I'm
Judge
just gonna.
Dredd?
So Dread was filmed in South Africa, so that's a
That's
connection.
right. That's right. This
That means you
makes
have to love
sense.
it because it's filmed in the same country that you're in. Hey, Mark, you're like
Imagine the
Bubble Boy
world
was
like
filmed
that.
in America. You should
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
You know?
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Um, Let's go with something. Yeah, let's go internationally. Let's go with my favorite hospital scene this year. Goes to a film that so it came out in Norway in 2022, but it was released internationally this year. It's my favorite hospital scene, and it is a movie called Sick of Myself. It's a wonderful little comedy horror. It's also like a lot of dread because you've got body horror and then the dread of what this woman is going to do next to herself to get attention.
And the
And there's this
line scenes.
hospital scene. It's a hospital scene that is not what you think it is. It's it's her fantasizing and like her little imagination running wild. And it's just I laughed so much in that scene. I had to pause to just like compose myself before carrying on because yeah, it was so funny. And also just nailing it, like the voices in your head telling you, oh, yeah, no, you're terrible, or the opposite of that. It's like I really like this movie. I like that they didn't go for the normal, I want to be internet famous trend to get attention. Like, they went a bit of a different route.
Like Scream
They
4.
showed like her boyfriend who's just a terrible guy. But just because like he's an artist, he apparently deserves attention or whatever. But I mean, he steals art. He's beyond derivative. It's not even funny. It poses some interesting questions on so who deserves our attention? Who deserves to be interviewed? Like who says one person is more important than the other? Everyone should just like I mean, like I told you, these people actually just need to hug each other more. Maybe that'll help instead
Yeah.
of talking about like being narcissist or what a narcissist is all the time. But I love how it's also just a little glimpse, especially of our culture right now. Even though they, like I say, I love that they didn't go the obvious internet what was. It was there, but not like, um yeah, it was something different. I really enjoyed the social commentary. I love me some social commentary. And I think, yeah, it was an interesting one. And the characters are terrible. They're just all so terrible. And this woman is messing up her body so badly. It's horrific. It's horrific. And it makes you think of like what people do to themselves just to, get attention or like have someone tell them, oh, shame, are you a gay? Like, well, yeah, the lengths we will sometimes go, you know?
It's the most
I
draining
thought
movie
it
I've
was
watched this year. Just her lies and just the conversations that they have. Oh, this band, he retweeted me. Oh, did he write something? No, he just reposted it.
what?
Oh,
You
you're a fan.
cringe.
Yeah, you're a
Oh,
fan of this band. Yeah, I love them. Okay, name one of their songs. Oh, you don't believe me? That's the entire movie. And you're just sitting there, just like,
stop. Stop.
oh man. And like, oh, he died. Like she once told me that she lost a toe, but then I saw her walking around in sandals. Like just this wild,
Yeah.
compulsive liar. And like also too, like did
Just
that
say
that
anything.
sex scene too about like the funeral. Like
Right?
you're just like,
It's one
oh
of exactly. It's that movie where you want to like, kind of close your eyes and watch like through your fingers. You're cringing, you're dreading, and then it gets gross. It gets the body horror, but it's a comedy horror, so it's different. It's interesting. I loved what they did with it. I it for a horror movie, it's something different because I mean, it's light on the horror, but it's horror
yeah.
and it's so funny. I
It's
mean,
horrifying.
listen, it's horrifying. But you're laughing at the same time because it's just like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. Which is exactly, I think, what you're supposed that's the right reaction to have. Like, this
It,
is bad. Don't
just
do this.
just talking about
Oh,
it makes me stressed out. Like I feel my heart
right?
beating a little bit. That's what it does to me.
I
It,
no, I need
it
ice cream.
yeah. It's this is random, but I was in Savannah the other day, and my wife and I, Mallory, we were doing this tour of homes, and there was this piece of art there that stressed me out. I was looking at it, and I was like, I can't be
Oh
in the
my
same room with this anymore.
gosh.
It was just four panels that
Yeah.
were uneven, but I'm not like OCD. I don't have obsessive compulsive. I'm not someone that needs things in order. But
Yeah.
just the way it was, like my heart started pounding. Like it stressed
Oh
me
my
out. I
word.
don't know
Yeah.
why, but like I felt the same way watching this for so. I was like, this movie's like uncomfortable and just
Ah,
it's not like over the
it is.
top uncomfortable humor though. It's not
It's clever.
Yeah.
It's clever. It's actually it's a clever movie. It's I think also a movie that is rewatchable. Um just make sure you're in a good place and maybe have a bowl of ice cream with you and just be ready to laugh and don't take it too seriously to keep the anxiety at bay. But yeah, it has a lot of great tiny little moments too, looks between characters. Like, oh gosh, no, it's one of my favorite comedy horrors of the year that I've seen. It's actually very impressive.
And we're writers too, and we like it when the articles we write are popular. And when that moment when she gets bumped because of the mass killings, like there's been moments where I'm sure sorry, I don't want to put things in your mouth, but I write something and then it just gets bumped immediately. I'm like, why'd my thing get bumped? For like another article, and so I was like, man, Mark, like you're not as terrible as this woman, but you got to maybe not stress
Yeah.
about these things as much. But yeah, that's yeah. All right, okay. So I'm gonna say
yeah.
something controversial.
Whoa.
I was coming up with my top favorite moments of the year, and this is one of them. But I think my favorite line in any movie this year is "I made the wall" from Insidious: The Red Door. I started crying. Like I started
Dude.
crying at the end of it. Like when listen,
That's my additional award. The unexpected tearjerker award goes to Insidious, The Red Door. Oh my word. I was bawling by the end. I did not expect that movie would be so emotional. It was so emotional.
just like it was an interesting angle. They removed their memories, but it's put a fog on him and his son, and he's not living with his wife anymore, which I didn't quite understand that. But it just I love the Insidious franchise. I adore it. David Cross and I are doing an entire series about it, and I'm very excited to cover
I'm
it.
jealous.
Very like we're
Love
so
it.
I
Love it.
I adore the franchise. I think it helped kick off where we're
Yeah.
at with horror. It helped James
Same.
Wan revitalize his career. Leigh Whannell revitalized his career. I mean, 4 and 5 starred Lin Shaye, and they're like, I did some math, like they're like the highest grossing
Love
horror films
her.
to star like a 70-plus-year-old actor. Like they made a ton of money. Like, and they're PG-13 starring Lin Shaye, and they're making 180 mil worldwide. Critics aren't into them, but audiences are like, we like these movies. But when he
We
looks
love
at him
it.
at the end, he's like, I made the wall, and he has the painting that his son saw of him carrying his son through the carrying his son through the further. It's yeah,
Are we gonna cry on
yeah,
the
no,
pod?
I'm
Are we gonna like tearing up? No. I mean, yeah, like I think yeah.
I got goosebumps. I'm like emotional, but I made the wall because you just look at Patrick Wilson and you feel like he's inherently just a nice dude. And so, his kid, like he and his kid lost his memory, and his kid remembered that his father carried him through the further, and just I don't know, like it's just a neat story, and at its core, Insidious has always been about good people kind of battling things that are much more evil than them, and they're stuck with them. They haven't earned any of this. They're just attacked by something evil, and then good people come to help them. Like there's no big money. They're not assigned by the Vatican. They don't have mopeds. Like it's just good people helping, and I just love that scene. So yeah, that's my award.
Yeah, we love that movie. It's a good movie. I think we need to talk about something else now
Yeah,
because I just want to cry.
yeah.
We just want to literally cry now. We can say a lot more about the movie, but we're not. We just like, yeah, love Insidious: The Red Door. I hope they make a ton more. I love how they I love the dynamic with the son and the dad. Like it was just so cool. Dug it. I thought who was the kid, the actor? I thought
Ty
he did so
Simpkins.
great too. Yeah,
Yeah.
loved him. Like he did really great. Yeah, I just thought what a neat story. This is how you do it, really. Anyway, okay. I really want to cry now. Okay, so let's keep it international, and the best beer can kill award goes to The Conference. I love that kill. I actually did an article for Crack this year, 50 best slashers, that I wish I could have like done longer, but they were like, keep it short. It's like fine. But yeah, like I actually added it into one of the best kills because it was just great. Guy just goes and lies down in his hammock, and all of a sudden pa! Beer can kill. I love it. I love it. It's so fun and funny. And The Conference was great and refreshing. It's not a perfect movie, but so fun. like, and funny, and
It's a
yeah.
kitchen fight, a good kitchen fight. Best knife to
Yes,
the eye of a mascot. It's
exactly.
and zip
That's
lining.
it's one of the movies that I can like give like 10 awards for,
Yeah.
really, if you think about it, like multiple awards, because there were some really great moments, some great talk about line delivery too. Oh my gosh, like they had some sick line delivery. It's a movie that I think every time you watch it, you're gonna laugh at the same stuff every time, because it's got some real good comedy in
Yeah, it
there.
does.
Um, and the characters are great and fun and hilarious. And like the old lady, she's just running away from the jacuzzi. Like, no, I don't want to do anything a part of this. No, no. Oh,
Such a fun,
it's
varied cast too of ages and
delightful.
everything. Yeah. And
Yes, exactly.
great kitchen. I watched that because of you. You messaged me and you said like great kitchen fight. So I'm like, oh well, this is going on
Yes,
next. So I gotta watch
yes.
that. No, I
That
love
was
yeah.
fun.
No, very fun. I wish I had more to say, but I think you said it. It's just a good time. Like you have characters you're not supposed to like, you have characters you like, you have a little bit of mystery, you have a little bit of like business intrigue.
And it's
Like
big characters too, like, I mean, they're not like over the top, but I mean, they're big, they're fun, they're very distinct.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, like every opportunity I get, I try to talk about the conference, because I think I was actually like talking on, was it on Twitter the other day, with Matt, Matt Denaro, and he was also talking about the conference. And he was like, yeah, it's one of the most underrated movies really of the year. I'm like, yeah, dude, totally, because it's actually weird that not more people are mentioning it and talking about it, because oh my gosh, how much fun was that? Like,
So much
yeah,
fun.
especially in the comedy horror like department, I think it needs more love. So if you haven't yet, go watch the conference. It's a good time.
It's just silly and then it's very violent and there's a wonderful kitchen fight. I keep saying that, but it's wonderful. And that lady puts up an awesome fight. Like that's a
Dude,
good kitchen fight.
I mean, I was impressed. And I've seen many a kitchen fights. Like,
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. So I'm up next, huh? There's so many movies out this year. I guess I should stick with the list I gave you, but I'm gonna pull another one. I'm gonna pull another funky thing.
do
And
it.
I think it's just like Skinamarink in general, like best toys on the wall, best final scene saying go to sleep, best look under the bed moment, best sister without eyes or a
Yes.
mouth. It's best
Yes.
$15,000 budgeted film. Watching Skinamarink was quite exciting for me. And especially realizing how he did it, how they did it. They raised money, they shot it in their home. They talked about
Yes.
the lenses, they got help from like Film Canada. It got leaked online, it became huge on Twitter, on TikTok. It was big, and it's just so experimental. And the whole time I was thinking about the editing, the trust in the shots. Like, a lot of people don't, it's a very, this movie is very, what's the word, you love it or you hate it. Like,
Yeah.
but I think if you're able to get on its wavelength and see it as an experimental $15,000 experiment, there's a lot to like about Skinamarink.
Exactly. Exactly. I was very like into it. Like afterwards, I think, yeah, like most people, yeah, love or hate, but I mean, I think I'm somewhere in between. Like I didn't love or hate it. I'm just like, oh wow, okay. Like I said in the beginning, I liked the experimenting that happened this year. People like doing different things. It was something different. Then tell me you've seen a movie like Skinnamarink, because you haven't. Like, it's something new. So, and I was like, okay, cool. This is something. And I mean, I actually enjoyed it. I liked a lot of what they did with it. I was engaged from the beginning right up to the end. Yeah, and just like all the more power to you for pulling it off at the same time. Like I can't imagine getting into that mindset of making a movie like that. I think so yeah, kudos to the filmmakers for actually doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, Skinamarink is definitely a movie that's a movie that's going to stand out and going to be talked about for many years to come too. And I'm interested to see how it's going to influence people,
Yeah.
what will come next from these filmmakers, from like people who are influenced by it. yeah, I mean, I dug it. I thought it was an interesting movie, and like saying that in the best, like it's a compliment,
Yeah,
I
not
think.
not. Oh, that's
Yeah,
interesting. No, this is
yeah, yeah.
legitimately interesting.
Like this is interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I no, I had a really good time watching it, and it just felt like such a breath of fresh air for me. And this is something to teach
Exactly.
students. Like, I was talking to some of my students. One
Yes.
one of them went to a film school before they came to my film school that I teach at, and they were like, "Yeah, we just watched like Citizen Kane and Schindler's List, and those movies are classics, right? But they're gigantically budgeted films made by incredible auteurs. Like, I think for
Yeah,
kids getting started nowadays, they should think about the lower budget movies that make it huge, like the Skinamarink, the Blair Witch, like Black Dynamite. Like,
exactly.
think about the movies that are, gain momentum and built and grew and were marketed well and were shot well. And I think this is a really nice example of that. And it's like, guys, like,
100%.
you don't need $200 million. You don't need to be Spielberg. You just need a good concept and some confidence. Like, you don't even need all the gear in the world. Just know what shot composition is and have a plan. Like, know what your movie is at the core and go make it. And it's, yeah, that's yeah, I think kids are going to learn from this. So I'm excited.
For sure. No, for sure. You're
Is
right.
this your, oh, so are you gonna do your award? I'm gonna do my award. And can we do a bunch of like rapid fire awards and then talk about which
Yes.
5 of these movies we would take to a desert island?
Oh gosh. Okay, cool. A desert
I just
island.
dumped
I
that on
love
you.
it. You just dumped that on me like a dumpster, like a lethal dumpster. No, no.
Yeah, well, you're not cut in half, so that's good.
I did like how he then took the bottom part of her body and put it like on the star sign. Oh my word.
Like, just in
That
the
movie, Thanksgiving. Listen, Thanksgiving might be the movie of the year that I'm probably gonna watch the most, honestly.
I would say so. Yeah, because it's funny and it's not overly
It's
heavy.
funny.
Like the dad listening to his headphones and like just
And it's
yeah.
easy watchable. Like you could just like throw it on, like yeah, so much fun.
Needs more kitchen
Okay.
fights.
Yes, more kitchen fights next time, Eli. More kitchen fights. Eli Ross definitely listening to our podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so my final.
Hey,
award-
we're doing good.
I'm saying it, but yeah, we actually do have a lot of like, yeah, call us like,
We're
call
like
us. We have ideas, directors listening in.
call us.
Call us. Okay, so final award goes for because I love this so much and I love her. Actually, this movie, I've watched this movie 3 times since it came out for work, but also I can tell you that it gets more fun every time I watch it. I just love it. The best kill while effed up on Adderall goes to the Blackening.
This will go with me to the desert island. Just
Same. Definitely taking the Blackening desert island movie for
maybe
sure.
best villain of the year too.
Love her. Like every time I watch this movie, I find myself staring at her more and more. She is so funny. Her line deliveries are hilarious. And yeah, when she gets all high on Adderall and then like tries to be all like ninja in the air and like kick this dude's ass and then actually does, it's amazing. I just also one of my favorite slasher kills. It's also on my article list. Go check it out. I think I actually pinned it on my Twitter page. Like best slasher, 50 best slasher kills. Oh my gosh, because it's so much fun. And what a fun movie. Like I say, every time, and because it's so rewatchable.
Yeah.
Every time you hear a different joke, one that you missed the first time because you were still laughing for, for like a previous joke. Oh yeah, just great cast. Like I love them all. Yeah, it's just
Good twin
fun,
killers, which is nice.
Yes,
and
yes.
and you know what I like too is this movie is there's so many bits and gags and jokes. This could have grind to a halt. Like, there's movies that like
Yes.
Thor: Love and Thunder, right? That movie felt like 7 hours long because it just did not. Jokes would just slow the momentum, but for some reason, since there's just so many rapid fire quips, just pop 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 pop, like it doesn't slow it down. Like that's almost the cadence of the movie, and it works so well. And just Megan, my wife Megan talks about it all the time too. Like she watched it and she watched it on a plane, then she and I watched it again together. because it's just such
I
a
love the
funny movie.
telepathy. I
Yeah.
love the
Oh
telepathy
yeah,
gag
they
they
get to
have. Oh my
it's
gosh, I
like
love that so
and then
much.
he's like, I can understand this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're-
And it's actually like that telepathy thing. So this was actually a skit before they made the movie, and I actually saw the skit thing. And that was based around like the telepathy was a big part of it. There's a Blackening skit thing. It's so good, and then they made it this whole movie, and it's just amazing, and I love it, and I want more of it, and everyone is so funny. Oh
and we get
gosh,
Deidre
the
Bader.
killer is also hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
much
just
fun.
I can understand what you're saying. Like it's
Oh wow, you do the voice. You
uh,
do the voice.
right.
You
Was
do
that
it
it?
really
Was
well.
that close?
Yeah, that was really good. That was really good.
All right. So this is tough. So we haven't talked about, I mean, No One Will Save You, but let's do Brooklyn 45. And I'm going to say,
Yes.
what are these people's tolerance to whiskey award? Because during Brooklyn 45, a movie I greatly admire, single room,
Oh,
a lot of
love it.
actors that I've seen before in other roles, but not like A-list, number one on the call sheet. Just a lot of excellent character actors, one room, a seance, and just an absurd amount of whiskey. I'm watching them drink that whiskey. And I was like, bro, you've had a gallon. Like, and you're still keeping it together. But yeah, it's a very interesting movie with very interesting character actors. And once again,
Uh,
I'm not trying to be lazy by saying interesting. I just think the concept and the way they build it, and they have to close it. They haven't closed it, and the way they talk and what they bring up during the war, and like it's such a dialogue heavy film, but it's very interesting, well shot. The way that they keep it in the room, the coverage that they get, the actors that they have, the line. Like I think it's a very like it's a super ambitious for all that coverage and for all that writing, but it works. And I can say I've never heard or seen anything like it. It's a very original horror film, and I greatly admire it.
it's another film that I've also seen 3 times actually this year. I actually like watched it just before the pod again because it's so good. And I just wanted to like, yeah, kind of just get a refresher again of the dynamics between the characters because I think that's what made the movie so interesting. Like it's war vets, it's Nazis, it's the concept itself is different though. It's not like anything you've seen. But yeah, the dynamics between the characters, like that's what really just made it pop. Like he made like it's a interesting bunch of people. Like if you think war veterans, you could have put any, your same old like lieutenants and whatever in there. But now you've got like, the cap or whatever that's kind of homophobic, but he's like also best friends with the gay soldier guy that's a baby killer war criminal. It's like it's really these like the torture queen is a woman. It's not a man, it's a woman. Like it's yeah, I just love all of it's those little things that makes it interesting. And I mean interesting is a compliment because it means it's something that we're not used to seeing. It's new, it's fresh. It's like yeah, I mean, and then of course the constant questioning of the morals and what's right and what makes a person a bad person and what's okay to do in these cases. And sure, I mean, yeah, it's a movie that's about World War II and Nazis and whatever, but yeah, like you can watch it today and say, yeah, some good questions and some interesting points you're making, and without like I won't say it's a moral tale or anything. It's just this thing that happens. And throwing in the seance, I mean, I love it when the guy at the end says, like, yeah, we're just fighting ghosts now, Like, I love that line. It really just sums it up. It's so good. Sorry. Yeah, I can actually go on about Brooklyn 45. I really freaking love the movie. It's one of my favorites of the year. And I love that I'm seeing a lot of people giving recognition to it too, because it's been an impressive one.
I think a lot of credit needs to go to Ted Keoghan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, Ted. I told him on Twitter that we would be talking about this movie, which is or X, because like he's right, popping up, like talking to him. That's why I like these episodes. We're talking about cool movies that probably might not be talked about on other lists. So I'm excited to do that. And
Exactly.
there's so much writing in this movie though that I think if he was really in love with himself, it would be very horrible to watch. It would just be very pretentious. It would be very precocious. Not he's not a young child. He's smarter than what he is, but like it would be very precious. But the dialogue zips and zings, like it doesn't get halted into the ground. I think sometimes when it's
Feels
a
very
writing,
natural.
and I think he did We Are Still Here, a movie I greatly admire. He did Mohawk, like, which is another good movie. So the guy is really making cool indie horror films, and it's
Yeah.
I think he's been around long enough to know how to write. But it's just, if this was like a first time writer, I might be a little worried. But it's just a good movie with a lot of dialogue that works, and it never feels precious or overly written.
It's a lot of dialogue, but I also feel like it was done sparingly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't feel like a lot of dialogue. I think
sorry.
that's a danger. Sorry, that's a danger if you have like just one location. I think that it makes it tricky. You kind of just want to talk. But it didn't feel like anyone was saying something unnecessary. Everything was constantly leaning into other character development or tension building, and most of the time both. Which honestly, that's great freaking writing.
Great writing. and listen, I'm cool with dialogue heavy movies, but sometimes you just feel like the writer's in love with their writing. I just didn't feel that here, if that makes sense.
No,
Because
not
a
at
lot of it
all.
was
Not
character,
at
a lot of it
all.
was moving the story forward. It wasn't I love my writing.
Exactly.
So here
He was very focused on what he wanted to like do, what the general like the central theme and premise was, and it showed. And the actors also like did very well with their characters and dealing with the source material and stuff. Like, yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. All right. Do we do our 5?
I think so. Like, I also actually had like an additional award. You can quickly do the additional award. Like, Brooklyn 45, I had like the biggest twist / surprise. Like, whoa, because that caught me out of nowhere. Like, me and you, we can usually check out a movie and we know what's coming and we know what's brewing. And not that it spoils, but we just like we're writers too. So we think like a writer. Like, so. But wow, I did not see this coming. That was like a whoa moment, and then we were into it. It was pretty good.
Good closet work.
45 is just great. The best. Oh my god, my dad used to be Ripped award goes to Totally Killer.
They use Dance Against Us.
Oh my yeah.
I love that line. They use Danced Against Us.
That's some cute jokes and lines. I love the bit where she sees her younger dad and he's ripped. Like, that's so funny. Best needle job, knock at the cabin. I said that. Best unexpected tearjerker award, Insidious. Oh, they carried that film award, Caitlin Dever, in my favorite horror of the year, No One Will Save You. I love that movie. That was so much fun to watch and still is, and just great. And she was just amazing.
So good. And this the levels of monsters, the different monsters, the way they mix it up.
Oh, that whole world, everything he did with it. I just, I liked it. And also like the layers of it. Yeah, no, it's much fun. Fun movie that, didn't like, I think people were like, but then it went serious in the end. I was like, but I didn't think it really did.
No.
But, whatever. I mean, anyway. And then my last award to the actor who's clearly having the most fun year, but I actually gave it to two people sharing. The two actors who clearly were having all the fun was Mulroney in Scream 6 and Luke Kirby in Dark Harvest, both of which played law enforcement guys, both of which are incredibly unhinged. And are clearly having all the fun that go over the top. Listen, I mean, the first time I watched Scream in the cinema, it was great. It was everything. And then I rewatched it when it came out on VOD. And I had a blast watching Mulroney. Just like he's so enjoying just playing the most unhinged cop ever. Like,
he goes full Mulroney in it.
He goes full Mulroney. And like, I told you, it's been a good year for like cops, detectives, sheriffs, like unhinged. Because then you've got the Thanksgiving like copper, well, he's a sheriff. No, he's an officer. Gosh, one's a detective, one's a sheriff, one's an officer. I can't remember who's who.
How would you rank them? I would go.
That's tough.
I go Thanksgiving, Dark Harvest, Scream 6, but it's comparing all people I like. I just like I don't know. I like what Dempsey's doing in it. He's very soft spoken. He has this very squirrely vibe to him.
I like it, but he's the least unhinged for
Yeah,
me. So I'll
unhinged.
put him last. Like I'll put Mulroney at the top personally.
He goes full
Because
Lillard.
he just, oh my gosh. Yeah, he goes Lillard, and you can see he's just enjoying it so much. Like Luke Kirby he really goes over the top.
The whole
But
time with that
like,
accent.
I think that's maybe a me problem because I also just see him as Lenny Bruce from
Yeah,
like Mrs. Maisel.
he's too
Like,
good in that.
so good in that. But I mean, then yeah, he's very over the top, almost too over the top in Dark Harvest, but I love it. And then Dempsey, I mean, he plays it actually very laid back. He's completely unhinged as a villain, but yeah, it's like I love all three of them in it. Like, and I just love that we had these three unhinged law enforcers in horror this year. And all three actually like, it's not unknown actors. And it's not little tiny movies, like, it's decent big movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. It was
Like, and they're
funny.
all different. One's unhinged 100% of the time. One is unhinged 30% of the time, and the other one is unhinged 10% of the time. So it's fun to see.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna knock out some really quick awards if that's okay. So,
Yeah, I did.
favorite shot, Dark Harvest. Dark Harvest when they're sitting on that. I don't know. They're sitting out by the fields, and then it just pans up. Like there's some. David Slade makes good looking movies, and Dark Harvest is a very good looking movie. I think the angry black girl and her monster has like some of the gnarliest kills. Just like some of the
Yes.
brutal
Love
kills.
that.
Oh, sorry, go for it.
Yeah, I like favorite overhead shots from Alconde.
Conde.
Yeah. Alconde. That's what you say, right?
Yeah,
Alconde.
Conde. 12
Oh,
minutes,
favorite overhead
47
shot.
seconds in. Yeah.
I was like, overhead shot.
I
Great.
messaged you immediately. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
I think Ennie's Men has the best use of primary colors. Sacrifice Game is I really like the main girls in it. I think the
Love
main
the
girls,
opening.
the worst
Love the
villains of
opening.
2023. But my
Mm-mm-mm.
favorite girls, like I like the they're not jerks, right? Like I mean, things happen, but I like the main girl. She's just nice, and then I like the teacher too. She's nice. Like there's just nice people in it.
Favorite
But
nice girls.
I can't
Yeah.
stand the villain. They're miscalibrated. They're not scary. They're not likable. They're not. I like the actors,
Yeah.
but I'm not saying it's a performance issue. I just think they were miscalibrated.
It
Ugh.
didn't work. Yeah. I
Um,
love the opening sequence though from that movie where they like go in the house. It's like the one shot. That was
yeah.
very cool, very stylized. I like the opening. It was cool.
I mean, it looks good, and it's an
It
interesting
does.
idea.
Yeah. It just didn't always fit. There were some problems, but there's definitely potential there. I'll
I,
say that.
I wanted to fight those four guys. Like I would fight you. Like I don't
I want
like
to
them,
punch that leader
but
guy
not
who
in a.
thinks, oh, I am the demon now. I'm like, oh my gosh, can I just crash your skull?
Yeah,
That's all I want to do. I just want to crash your skull, please.
it's
Yeah.
but not like in a successful way that I didn't like him. I just didn't like him. If that
No, I didn't like, no, I couldn't stand the guy. No,
good actor, like
no.
great look. That's a dude from Aladdin. Like he has a great look, and I
Oh
think
yeah, no,
he has
the
an
actor.
absolute
Yeah,
look
I
of
was
a
talking about the
star. Like
character.
I
Oh, the
was
character.
looking
Oh
at him. I'm like,
gosh.
this guy looks like a
No.
movie star. Like he's good.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'll put best PG-13, best decision to make a movie PG-13 because Five Nights at Freddy, the audience is 12 to 17, and it made
Yeah,
250
no.
million. And then let's
Mm.
see, Bo is Afraid, best running. Talk to Me, best head smashing. When Evil Lurks, I would say best goat. The Nun, best Tysa. We just like her.
We love her.
Cobweb, best almost. Like it's almost like I like it, but it looks great. It's almost there. Slaughter. No, I don't want to talk about that.
I couldn't stop seeing him as Homelander in a jersey. Like I could just
then,
not
yeah, and it's Lizzie Kaplan.
separate.
Yeah.
Is Lizzie Kaplan doing? That's what I told you. Lizzie Kaplan doing Lizzie Kaplan, and then Homelander in a jersey.
Influencer, I think, is best boat work. The end of Influencer made me very happy. I like the ending of that.
It wasn't bad, yeah.
Black Demon is best unhinged Josh Peck. Boogeyman has that little globe. I have that in my daughter's room, so that's that. Haunting of Venice, just best Perot movie. I could watch 1,000 of these.
Is it a horror?
Well, I mean, yeah, Brano
maybe.
shot the
Oh,
shit out of it,
gosh.
right? It looks great.
Oh, I loved Haunting in Venice. Oh my gosh. I was actually pleasantly surprised. I really, really liked it. More of that, please. That worked for me.
So good. Saw 10, best 10th film in a horror franchise since Jason X.
Yeah,
It's, Saw 10 is good. It's a
it
it's
was good.
a good
Yeah.
movie. All right, then we have Megan, best dancing. The Tank, best monster in a house that you've gotten from like your aunt's will.
Yeah.
Meg 2, best jet
Inherently.
skiing. My least favorite movie of the year is Renfield. Evil Dead Rise has the best blood elevator. Who is Sarah, the Bone
Yeah.
Woman, has like the best crunchy noises.
Oh, bass crunchy
Yeah.
noises. Oh my gosh,
Infinity
yeah.
Pool is just best Cronenberg. Like it's just body horror and just rich people being horrible.
Best rich people being horrible,
Yeah, best rich people
I
being
guess.
horrible. Scream 6 is best ladder. But yeah, I think I went through.
You love the latter.
It's kind of annoying. I went through. I thought I had all my list in Letterbox updated, but I left a few movies out. But I thought I had it all the way updated. But okay, let's get out of here. We got to get out of here. 5. You're going to a desert island, and you can pick 5 2023 horror movies to take with you. Which 5 do you take?
I'm gonna take No One Will Save You, Thanksgiving, The Blackening, The Conference. Oh my gosh, Mark. And oh, it's tough. It's tough. Let me think about it. Let me
Okay.
think about it.
So I'll do mine since I just dropped this on both of us.
Scream
But yeah,
6. Scream 6. I'll just take Scream 6.
oh, okay. I will take The Blackening because it's funny. Thanksgiving because it's funny. I don't want to be
Exactly.
horrified on this island.
That's the thing. Like, I'm also taking mostly comedy horrors because I don't want to be scared and alone on an island. That sounds extremely depressing. That's like not island vibes. I want to laugh. I want to have fun.
I'll take, like you said, I'll do The Conference. I don't know. I don't think Megan gets very dour. I don't think I could take Megan. Skinamarink, I'm not watching that on an island.
No.
Bo is Afraid. No. Oh, best Parker Posey. Best dead Parker Posey. Bo is Afraid.
Oh my gosh, that is so true. How dare we not give Parker Posey an award?
It
just
is
for being in a horror movie.
It's my favorite Ari Aster movie, that's for sure. So
I really enjoyed it. It was like probably my least favorite movie to sit through the first half. I would like the anxiety levels I was going through with that first part. But I mean, it was good. Like it was really well done. But whoa, it was a lot.
So what do I have? I have Blackening.
Oh, Blackening, Thanksgiving, The Conference.
Huh.
You'll probably take Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, because that's kind of life affirming. It's heavy, but so I have
you have to have one, like, one to just like, I don't know, ground yourself. Like I'm taking No One Will Save You, for instance.
I'm not taking Exorcist, even though I love it. I would take the first 5 minutes of The Exorcist, Pope's Exorcist. No Talk to Me.
Oh yeah.
No Bo is Afraid. No Dark Harvest.
We didn't talk about it, but I just want to say the new Pet Cemetery, not that bad. I actually think I like the new one more than the first one. Just saying. I like the concept and the idea that they went with.
Oh yeah, Pet Cemetery's good.
Yes, it was good. We should just shout out to the new Pet Cemetery, Bloodline or something. Like, it was good.
I got Paramount Plus to watch that. I enjoyed it. So I have 3. No, I have 4. We have Meg 2. I don't know. Meg 2 is good. Scream 6. That all hinges on like the killer.
Wait, is Meg also a horror?
Yeah, I mean it's a giant shark eating people.
Oh my gosh, I'm totally taking Meg to the change. No, I'm totally taking it. Yeah, I love that movie. I enjoyed it so much.
I think those are great. Good.
I also liked it more than the first one.
And it's better than Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear has shots that made me just want to barf. Yeah. The roof scene though, when they stuck on the roof and they're yelling at each other, that's funny. But I mean, I love all the actors in that scene are incredible. But I don't know. There's moments where the camera just goes upside down for no reason, and I feel like
it didn't work for me.
You know what would be cool if we just did the camera upside down? Like, no, that's not what you do. But yeah,
I don't want to like see the filmmakers trying hard. I don't want. It takes me out.
Yeah,
I feel. I think like trying to be funny, or
I think we did it. Meg 2, Conference, Thanksgiving, The Blackening, and Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah, like we're actually taking a lot of the same movies. So I think we're in accords to our favorite comedy horrors of the year.
Like I'm not taking Evil Dead Rise to an island.
dude, no, that's not happening. Like, oh my,
Hey.
why would I want to see a blood elevator while I'm on a beach, stranded on a beach in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah,
I don't
no
want to see
thanks.
blood elevator.
No, I want to laugh. Hey, well, thank you.
Would you take old with you
Yeah,
to Desert Island?
I
Right?
would. Yeah,
I'm same. I would feel less alone with old.
because you're on a beach.
Exactly. I would feel less alone.
I love M.
We
Night
should do a
Shyamalan.
M Night. We should do another M Night, yeah, episode. Like,
Listen,
and do
whenever.
a draft. Let's do a Desert Island M Night thing.
Move it. Wait. Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
That'd be very which because he's done okay. So he has directed Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Signs, The Village, The Happening, Airbender, After Earth, The Visit, Split, Glass, Old, Knock at the Cabin, and his first movie with Rosie O'Donnell.
I feel like we're forgetting another one. But yeah, like there's like
Unbreakable,
enough.
Glass, The Happening. I just love his movie. He's like, I could talk about that dude all day.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, okay. All
right. Signs? No, I said signs. All right, let's get out of here.
You did
But hey,
signs.
thank you so much for joining me.
It's
This was
Lady in the
wonderful.
Water.
We'll be back. Oh, Lady in the... I just released
There
an
we go.
episode about Lady in the Water.
Lady
Jeez
in the
Louise.
Water. There we go.
A lot of water. Signs has water. Unbreakable has water. Lady in the Water has a lot of water. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
has water.
I'm sure they drink some. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. So you'll be back for many more episodes, and yeah, then we'll be back next year again for more horror. But yeah, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Zanandi Boetis, this is Movie Stones and Flicks. We'll see you next week.